Why, hello everybody, it is Kyle here from Unboxed Autos, and today we're here in beautiful Virginia checking out the 2023 Lexus UX. Now the UX is the entry-level model for the Lexus brand, so if you guys are looking for a entry-level luxury small SUV, then the UX could be a really great option for you guys. Now the UX does prioritize efficiency and luxury, so if that's something you guys are into, then you definitely want to check out the video here on the 2023 Lexus UX. Now behind me here today, we have the F Sport with handling package version. So there's an F Sport model, there's also the F Sport handling package, which adds some actual things underneath the hood to make it a sportier drive. Now, we're going to go ahead and give this guy a full review. We're going to check out the interior, the exterior, and of course, lastly, take it for a test drive and give you guys some driving impressions. So without further ado, let's get started. First up, again, this is the entry-level model from the Lexus brand. So we have it starts with the UX250H. Now, that's going to be $36,490 for the front-wheel drive version, and then $37,890 for the all-wheel drive version. You want to step up a notch, you're going to be looking at the UX250H Premium. That's going to be $38,950 for front-wheel drive, $40,350 for all-wheel drive. And there's going to be a few additional options they're going to add there for you guys. Some of the notable ones are going to be the power rear door with kick sensing and then heated and ventilated seating. So some nice luxury upgrades there. Now, if you want to get something that looks a little bit sportier, like the model here we have today, you're going to be looking at the UX250HF Sport. That's going to be starting at $38,950 for front-wheel drive, $40,350 for all-wheel drive, and there's going to be, some exterior styling packages. So, we're going to have that black contrast roof, which we see here today, which can look really cool, especially depending on the color that you choose. There's some pretty nifty, bright colors, which really gives some nice accenting there. And then what we have here today is the top of the line model. We're going to be there with the UX250H F Sport handling. So you get all of the features from the F Sport, but it does add an enhanced suspension. So it's going to be a sportier suspension. And we're going to get the special F Sport front seats with enhanced bolstering, which we'll go over inside, and then the F Sport steering wheel and shifting knob. Now, in terms of pricing, the front-wheel drive version of that is $43,920, all-wheel drive $45,320. Now, in my opinion, I think that they should just offer an all-wheel drive because it is going to be a better driving experience at the top of the line model. But anywho, that's it. 17.1 foot turning radius, super tight, really maneuverable little guy. Now, in terms of fuel efficiency, the UX250H is front-wheel drive is going to be the most efficient model, 42 miles per gallon combined. Pretty impressive specs there in terms of fuel efficiency. Even here in this one, we've been getting 37, around 37 and a half, 38 mpg combined driving, which is super impressive, guys. So, in terms of what's under the hood, it's not going to be a lot of power. We'll go over this more in detail driving later, but it is 181 horsepower, 4-cylinder hybrid powertrain. It's paired with a continuously variable CVT transmission, 133 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 time, car and driver estimated 8.6 seconds. I'd say it's very fair. Now, in terms of the platform here, the UX is shared with the Toyota Prius, and the UX is now exclusively available as a hybrid. So it's, basically an updated version of the last year's UX250H hybrid model. So before, there were some different options for powertrain, but now we're just looking at the hybrid only. So now all UX variants feature the same 181 horsepower engine. Again, you can either get front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Now, an interesting thing though here is with the front-wheel drive configuration, it employs 2 electric motors and of course the 4-cylinder gasoline engine, while the all-wheel drive variant incorporates an additional electric motor to the rear wheels. So, not a ton of acceleration power there, but it does provide great efficiency. In terms of competition, we're going to be looking at something along the lines of the BMW X1 and Mercedes-Benz GLB. They are a little bit more spacious, I'm not going to lie. Now, in terms of styling here, guys, I like what they've done. I think it really stands out. It really has more of a hatchback look to it, which I think is pretty neat. It's marketed as their entry-level subcompact SUV, but really when you look at it, you look at the ground clearance, you look at the shape, look at the size, this really is more of a hatchback. And I like that. I think it looks pretty cool. Especially back here, we have this neat, very crisp LED bar running across the entire rear deck of the vehicle. We have the all-wheel drive UX 250h there. Power liftgate. So not a bad amount of space back here for luggage. The rear seat is a little bit cramped, and you know, we'll get more into that later when I get back there. But go ahead and close that. But yeah, in terms of styling though, I like that. I like that look. We also have here these wider rear fenders here. That is part of the F Sport. We have some F Sport badging. We have upgraded wheels. I think, you know, they look pretty nice. They are 18-inch wheels, and yeah, pretty cool. You know, obviously in terms of the price point of this vehicle, you know, it's a unique proposition. It's going to be a really great vehicle for the right buyer. So of course we have Lexus signature LED checkmark headlights, a little bit of Lexus emblem right there, of course LEDs right here. We have some darker, we have the dark grille, signature for F Sport styling as well. Coupled that here with a little bit of this darker chrome finish. Looks pretty good. Again, very signature Lexus grille for F Sport. So if you're looking to get an F Sport model at an affordable price, this is going to be your best option. But yeah, so you know, I think the interior and exterior complement each other nicely, and we're going to go ahead now and check out the inside. Give you guys a look behind the wheel. Once you are inside the UX, you know, you're going to be pretty comfortable. And I was surprised by the level of detail, the different styling aspects in a positive way here in the UX. Now, again, this competes with really closely with the BMW X1. Both have their own unique interior identity. Lexus is really going, I feel like, for this sort of spacey, sporty look here. One thing I'd like to draw your attention to are these cool air vents. So they move in these couple different directions right here. So of course they move horizontally and vertically, but it's neat to watch the different vent control modules. So I think that's kind of a nifty little touch there. To close off the air vent, you just turn to the right, to the left. I also like what they've done with the different layers of the interior. So for instance, the door panel, I think this is a neat design aspect here. They added this panel above this panel. This right here is also a pretty high quality door panel in terms of, you know, this is the entry-level Lexus model. So I like it. It's pretty soft to the touch. It doesn't look overly plasticky, so it's rubberized. So I do like that they went with the higher quality there instead of just something like this, which is on still pretty rubbery and nice to touch, but this is overall a higher quality. Then over here we have this more you know, sort of a leather-esque material combined with some red stitching, the F Sport model, and then we have this material right here, which is this like interesting sort of glazed plastic, but has a unique texturing to it. So I think that's pretty different. And then we have even another material right here. So just in this one little area, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of material, and then you can see here things are sort of layered differently. So it's unique to look at from a visual perspective, which I think is neat. The door handle right here, pretty easy to grab onto ergonomically, and it's pleasing, and it's pretty unique shaped door handle. I like that. 3 different settings, memory settings for this seat. So if you have 3 different drivers, you are in luck. You can save your mirror, steering wheel, and seat settings without a problem. Some very simple controls down here, just the mirror, fold in, things like that, window controls. We do have the heads-up display, which is nice to have. I like that option. So that's controlled there. I do enjoy this F Sport steering wheel. I gotta hand it to Lexus. I've always really enjoyed this steering wheel. It's a nice size. It's pleasant to hold onto. Nice nifty little paddle shifters. Easy to control buttons. Nice spacing on the buttons. They feel good to the touch. High quality. And then of course the power button. So it's not really push to start, since they call it power, since it is the hybrid model. So we've powered on the vehicle. You'll see it all kind of come to life here. UX, This is the digital gauge cluster you're going to have as standard. Now, right here, you're going to notice it has the charging area, the eco, and then the power area. So that's to help you, achieve maximum efficiency when driving. Now, if you pop it up into sport mode, it gives you the RPM gauge instead. And as you can see, adds a little nice, cool little red dial, looks a little different. Pop it all the way to Sport Plus, you're going to get an LFA-inspired gauge right there. And then back to normal drive mode, it's all controlled via this rotary dial switch here. And then Eco, just like that. Another nifty thing, if you press this button right here, it slides over, and you can control some different features there. You can check out the navigation, some fuel information. We've been getting 37.7 miles to the gallon as a combined average. Check out your range, your energy. So right now, you can see here the 3 different options we have. So right now we're running off of the battery. If we were driving, it would be showing us, if we're just running in the hybrid mode, the EV only mode, or a combination of both. It would show the power flow delivery there. G-force, tire pressure, blank page. Back to drive info, again, nav. Music, it shows we have the lane keep assist and lane departure warning off and the cruise control off. Messages, lane centering, we have some different options there. We can adjust the sensitivity, the steering wheel alert, and then the feature itself right there. So lane centering is on. Alert is active for the vibration of the steering wheel. Sensitivity is standard. And then we also have blind spot monitoring, backup rear collision warning, and with assist, and then adjust our brightness of our HUD. So this various driving settings in there. Pretty nifty how the gauge cluster moves entirely. Always thought that was neat. It's been around for a long time, but hey, it's still cool, not gonna lie. Right here we have the auto headlights, so you can just select them right there. We also have the fog lights as well, and then yeah, auto there as well for the brights if you want to have that. Over here we have the windshield wiper control. So we have the rear wiper, auto, and we can have them on auto or low high. Anywho, back though to the more exciting stuff. We have again the steering wheel. We have the distance control, so we have the cruise control. And actually, we'll see the car in front of us, so we can separate the gap. It will keep the speed and the gap there. We have the lane departure warning with steering assist. Got that going on. This is just the volume controls for the volume controls for the radio, and then skipping songs right there. And then this, of course, as you saw, controls the media center. But again, F Sport steering wheel. Love the design here. Again, really nice little red stitching there. Beautiful seats. They are extremely comfortable. Really like these. Great bolstering. Love the color combination. I think it looks really nice. Very comfortable. F Sport here, of course, badging in the headrest, but nice deep bolstering, side shoulder padding. Very comfortable. Very comfortable. And then over here, we see some more red stitching. Again, panelized. A couple of different layers here within the panels. I think that looks neat. Very spacious though for how small the car is. It feels very open and spacious inside. I do like that. Right here, this is the optional 12.3-inch display. This is going to be something new here that we have for 2023. It incorporates the newest Lexus multimedia system, and it has a really good navigation system, easy to find destinations. I like it a lot. We have of course, the satellite radio, FM radio, everything can be tuned here via touch. It's very responsive. We can pair our phone, of course, via Bluetooth, and we do now have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So that's a really great updated feature. You can check out some basic fuel economy information. We can have different profiles to customize the settings, so it saves them in there. Bluetooth, if you want to pair your phone, you can go in there. General settings, screen sensitivity, and things like that. We do have Wi-Fi hotspot capability, which is a nice feature to have. You can adjust the screen brightness settings, contrast, all of that good stuff. Good sound system. I really do enjoy the sound system here. It has a surround sound, and it has a surround sound capabilities. Sounds good for the segment. I really like it. Yeah, so that's pretty much, the media system. Again, all touch-based, very easy to use, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, 8 inches standard, and then this is the upgraded 12.3 inch. I really also appreciate how the display has been integrated into the dashboard. I feel like it's not, too much. It's not too much in your face. It doesn't look like an afterthought. It's been nicely arranged into the center. We have a couple of air vents here, of course, as you can see. That material, once again, that textured material, which looks neat. And then down here, we have our air control settings, HVAC. So we have temperature control. We have an auto mode fan. We have the rear window and mirrored anti-fog or defrost. We have the full defrost button, recirc, and things like that. Cool buttons. I like the toggling of the buttons. They have a nice feel to them. Again, for the price point in the segment, I like what they did there. Wireless charging, big wireless charging capability right here. We have 2 USB-C ports, cup holders, and of course we have our gear selector. This is the F Sport gear selector, park, reverse, neutral, drive, sport, and then manual shifting. And the CVT, it's a little bit different, not quite like manual shifting. More, it has like different steps to it, which it will adjust. EV only mode, this button, basically don't even pay attention to that. It really only works below 25 miles per hour. And if you step on the gas too quickly, it just goes right into hybrid mode. So I've never really understood the point of this button. They've always had them. 3 different levels here for cooled seats, 3 different levels for heated, 2 different levels for the heated steering wheel. Passenger gets the same treatment as the driver for a total of 6 settings there for the heated and cooled seats. Once again, beautiful seat, really nice. Door panels similar, of course, to the driver's side with a few less window controls. But yeah, guys, the interior, I really do like it. It's a pretty impressive interior for the segment and at this price point. Don't really have anything too negative to say, but I really like the updated navigation system. Of course, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay is a great new feature to have. The only thing I would take a little bit of a gripe with would be the rear seat room. There's not a lot of space in this car. There's just not a lot of space back here in the rear seat. Once you get in here, I have this seat where I would drive. I'm 5'9", and not a lot of space. I could sit back here for a little while and it'd be okay, but really it's also that the backrest here of the rear seat's very upright. So it makes it kind of uncomfortable on the back. So not super great. Really, this is going to be the very plasticky, cheap material here up top, and something a little soft here in the door panel. But yeah, guys, of course it is a subcompact, if you will, SUV. It's very small, but the interior rear space is just not that great. So if you're looking for something that you're going to be hauling a lot of people around in all the time, I would say that this is probably not the best option for that. In terms of driving dynamics, I was surprised at the nimbleness of this vehicle. And as you know, this one is equipped with the F Sport handling package. So we're going to see improved handling dynamics, at least that's what Lexus claims over the standard UX. So there is more going on here than just the looks, the F Sport appearance. They have adjusted and tuned the suspension. And I must say that obviously, on paper, this car does not have a lot of power. It's rated at 181 horsepower, which obviously is not a lot. And it has just over 130 pound-feet of torque. Now, when you look at those numbers on paper and you look at this car, you think, wow, like that is going to be really bad. And surprisingly, I haven't really been in a position driving this car where I've been like, wow, that's not enough power for what it is. Is 0 to 60 time about 8.6 seconds? I believe Car and Driver reported, an 8.6 second 0 to 60 time, which is slow. There's no doubt about it. But again, in terms of everyday driving and the fuel efficiency of this vehicle, it's really quite impressive that they've made that small amount of power feel so good. For instance, let's say you're driving along at about 30 miles an hour, you need to go take a quick little pass, so you step on the gas, and okay, oh, there you go. Basically that's how much power you're going to need to to pass somebody in the city. It has a few different levels, and this is a continuously variable transmission CVT. It's generally not preferable in a fully petrol car, but for hybrids, I don't mind it because it does make the driving experience smoother overall, especially when you are able to couple it with that hybrid powertrain. So, again, in this use case, it's not bad. And in terms of fuel efficiency, it's really good. The entry, I should say, the top performer in terms of fuel efficiency is going to be the front-wheel drive model. I believe it is rated at 42 miles to the gallon combined. However, in this model, this is the all-wheel drive version, and this is the F Sport with the handling package. So it's the top-of-the-line model. We are seeing about 37 miles to the gallon combined. And that's not me, driving in eco mode. This is just me everyday driving. It's about 50-50 highway city driving. So really quite impressive numbers, especially again, we have the all-wheel drive version here. So that's going to take away, a little bit of the fuel efficiency, and then, couple that with my driving, which is, on a sportier side. I wouldn't go as far to say aggressive, but on the sportier side. So yeah, and honestly, guys, even driving in here, in the mountains and some of the the curvy roads, it's very nimble, very surprising. I believe the turning radius is 17.4 feet, which is really tight. So really excellent turning radius. I was surprised at just how easily this car does maneuver. Now, another cool thing we can do here is if we put the car into Sport Plus mode, the gauge cluster does change a little bit, as you can see, to sort of an LFA, Lexus LFA, which is their supercar that they built a while back, inspired design language there in the digital instrument cluster. And it looks cool. It changes from the hybrid, one where it shows like eco and a power band, to just straight up tachometer, which is sort of funny, because it is a CVT. There is no, that's max power, guys. There's no shifting of the gear, so it just kind of stays hovering around that 5,500 RPM mark, which is kind of funny. But then obviously when the engine is in hybrid mode, like right now, EV mode, I should say, it's obviously the engine is making 0 revolutions, so it pops into 0. But yeah, and there's different step ups. So in step up, I mean that in terms of the CVT transmission. So it's the variable transmission. So there's no gears involved, and it has different steps. So there's like right now we call like step 1 like easy driving, step 2, step 3. Then that was it. So it does make that whiny noise, especially when you are at maximum power mode. It does make a whiny driving noise, which is sort of, CVTs are known for that, making that high-pitched noise when you're on max power mode. It's not as terrible as they used to be, but it's not ideal. And again, when you're driving normally around town, you're not going to notice it. But anytime you really get past that 3,000 RPM mode and demand maximum power, is when that noise is going to come through. But again, guys, we're looking at this car. This is a super efficient, hyper efficient, compact luxury SUV. So is it fun to drive in these hills because of the dynamic handling? I'll go as far to say that it does have a dynamic handling ability. It really drives more like a car. It is not really an SUV. Especially when you look at how the body, how high it sits, and things like that. It really is more of a hatchback than a SUV. But anyway, it's fun to drive, tool around the country roads. It's not going to win on acceleration, that's for sure, but it does win In terms of handling, it's pretty peppy and fun to drive. Peppy, I mean that in terms of, like the 0 to 35, 40 miles an hour, in the hills. I can, get on the gas a little bit, and it's fun to tool around the tight roads, tight curves, because it does handle really well. So, I think they've struck a balance, and what they've done is they've definitely gone ahead and prioritized efficiency with this vehicle, but it's still fun to drive because of its dynamic handling capabilities. It's quite comfortable. I'd say road noise is a little bit higher than I would expect for a luxury vehicle in this price range. But again, guys, all things considered, they did a nice packaging on this car. If I were in the market for a vehicle like this, I would probably just purchase the Toyota Prius, the limited edition model. Especially the new one's really great. But if you're looking for something a little more upscale that's going to give you maximum fuel efficiency, then this is not a bad option. Final thoughts here on the 2023 Lexus UX. I think it's a great vehicle for the right buyer. If you're looking to get into that entry-level luxury brand, you're looking for something that's extremely fuel efficient, great around town. You do a lot of city driving, you do a lot of driving around town, perhaps a fun weekend trip out to the countryside, and you're not looking to haul a ton of stuff and people, I'd say absolutely give a really close look at the 2023 Lexus UX. I personally would go for the F Sport handling package all-wheel drive version, or the front-wheel drive version there on the luxury model. So, we're going to try and keep our costs below $45,000 on the top end, and then just a bit below $40,000 on the low end. As well, that's all for you today. Hopefully you've enjoyed my review here on the Lexus UX. And until next time, I'm Kyle from Unboxed.